What did you say now? Viscount Conrad's expression turned cold. The opponent crossed the line. If he had tried to solve this with no people around, maybe he would have chosen the right compromise. But now, not Baron Romero but his son Roman Dmitri had lowered his honor in front of so many people watching. He was angry. The Conrad family drove the farmers out of Dmitri. But that land belongs to my family, and I can take it when I want to. Do I have to report to the Dmitri family? No matter how powerful your family is, we are not your servants. He mentioned this on purpose. Right now, the people from the northeast were all watching this, and they said, Viscount Conrad is right. Even if there is a problem with land reclamation, should you be this rude when people are gathered to celebrate? This is a bit unfortunate. Mr. Roman? You are not the lord of the Dmitri family. If Baron Romero had set up a separate place and resolved this problem of two families, then Viscount Conrad would have followed it. The eldest son of the Dmitri family? Nonsense. Viscount Conrad is the lord of his family. You are not one to treat him this low. The atmosphere turned, and they were cornering Roman. It was funny. What if it was Marquis Benedict in this position? No one would react like this. They wouldn't even do this for the Barco family. No. Absolutely not. The nobles were calculating people, and Dmitri was a family that they decided could be stomped on. There was no central government behind Dmitri. Even if problems arose, they were likely to be resolved within the northeast, and so they thought that the power of Dmitri was nothing. One against many, the number of lords on one side gave them confidence. Looking at them, Roman was convinced of his plan. The local nobles, including those in the northeast, have already turned into dogs of the central government. These are the beings who can stick a knife right under the chin of Dmitri at any time, according to the orders of the central government. So either I cut them down right now or turn them into obedient dogs. I need to give them a choice. Roman didn't back down. With the same face, he looked straight at the hostile nobles. What is it that you are doing? Conceptually, this wasn't a huge issue. So the nobles of the northeast, as well as the ones unrelated, looked shocked. Roman said, Just now, you told me that my words and actions are rude, so I will ask this straight up. Since when did it become possible to tamper with the estates of other nobles in the Cairo kingdom? Viscount Conrad touched the farmers of Dmitri, who are my people. My people who live in Dmitri, who pay taxes to me and are loyal to me. And you touched them without even informing them of anything, and now you all claim that the things I say are rude? This was nonsense. If they were too shocked, they should just shut their mouths. The remarks about them crossing a line left Viscount Conrad and the people speechless. The reason I am upset with Viscount Conrad is for talking to me with a smile after what happened. What kind of family do you think Dmitri is? Even though you touched my people, do you consider us the ones to smile and accept your conversations? If so, you made a huge mistake. This issue is already being discussed within the Dmitri family. I have been entrusted with full control of this matter by my father, and I have no intention of letting your actions pass. That is... With his statement, the nobles of the Northeast Nobles Alliance and Viscount Conrad looked shocked. At first, they thought it was Roman speaking out of a whim, but now they realized that they fell into the trap. And they couldn't walk out. They could have prevented the worst by taking a step back, but they were unable to do so since so many people had already voiced their opinions in front of so many others. It was a matter of pride. They were aware of what would happen to them even if one of them decided to give up and surrender to Dmitri. So they didn't back off and looked straight at Roman as if they were the right ones. And that look was what Roman wanted. You still have no intention of apologizing. If so, then this will be done. Now you are showing an attitude that there is nothing wrong with touching someone from another estate. The Dmitri family will do the same in the future. If there are people on Dmitri's land who are not part of the estate, I will make them pay 100-fold. It might be the right thing to do. I know that none of the people who rebuked me right now have a lot to do with the merchants of Dmitri, so let's see if they say this isn't such an important issue when that happens. People not from the estate, a statement that pushed them into a corner. They didn't expect this, but this was a fight they couldn't win. Roman Dmitri, he isn't just a good swordsman but also a fox. Knowing that this cannot be solved through words, he is trying to stomp on us. He looked around for answers from the nobles gathered, but they didn't seem to have any. Actually, everyone knew. The so-called Northeast Nobles Alliance was created due to their weakness. If their predator was Dmitri, then they were bound to suffer. But I cannot just get down on my knees. This was something he couldn't compromise on. Even if he is harmed, he must demonstrate the influence of the nobles in order to obtain an advantage in the Northeast in the future. It was then. It is Viscount Conrad's mistake this time. It was an unexpected variable. Viscount Lawrence was watching the situation, and he decided to speak. In the process of getting things done, the before and after of an issue are important. It is an issue concerning Dimitri's people, so does it make sense to harm them without prior notice? I think you were too much. So, admit the mistake and apologize. That was a situation even Roman hadn't expected. Viscount Lawrence got through the crisis with Roman's help. In the past, he had sweaty feet when he asked for help, but he couldn't forget the situation where everyone turned away. The nobles who usually laughed and smiled with me didn't show any kindness when Barco turned against us. Northeast nobles? All this is meaningless to me. Lawrence will follow Dmitri in the future. Even if it causes problems, Dmitri is a lot better than those who won't even try. He knew how to repay grace. His remarks would create a hostile force, but Viscount Lawrence continued. The atmosphere has changed now. Once Viscount Lawrence had opened up the path for Roman, the pro-Dmitri forces would come in. On this matter, Mr. Roman is right. A member of the estate has been harmed by another estate, and what kind of noble would be able to pass the situation with a smile? Apologize to Mr. Roman right now. Viscount Conrad was shocked. This wasn't what he expected. He should have put pressure on Roman, but he couldn't do that anymore. Finally, I will be more careful next time. He stepped back while gulping down his anger. He exited the party with a red face from embarrassment. The case was closed. And when the mood improved, Roman met his father. And Baron Romero said, "Is it really fine to take things to the extreme? It is very hopeful that a large number of nobles have sided with us, but those nobles cannot be ignored. They will never step back like this." He was worried about the path Roman chose. He stepped on the pride of the nobles. The nobles were the ones who risked their lives for everything, so he thought Roman pushed them too hard. To which Roman answered, "Father, your opponent must do everything in his power to ensure the fight is over. If they are extremely enraged about the issue, they may be willing to accept the difference with Dmitri, but when it comes to running into us, they must feel the most helpless. Furthermore, I seriously doubt that those individuals would voluntarily stand down. Rather, this is what I want. My strategy will only work if they band together to defeat Dmitri by any means imaginable." Roman's guess was right. At that time, the Northeast nobles had gathered in one place. For them, this was a humiliation they could never get over. After leaving the party, the Northeast Alliance members gathered at Viscount Conrad's mansion and burst into anger. "That arrogant bastard! That guy of Dmitri who just got recognition in the capital is wagging his tail at us." "Right. Do you remember what he said in the end? He is so cheeky and arrogant, he doesn't know his limit. Everyone, this cannot be overlooked. If we keep our head down like this, then people will think the Northeast Nobles Alliance is nothing." Everyone had the same thoughts. They wanted revenge, but that wasn't so easy. "So is there a special way?" It was Viscount Conrad. The shame and anger he felt caused his face to flush red. "Dmitri, with Lawrence's support. This is a fight we cannot win. So, even though I bowed my head, not many helped me, right? To be honest, I am skeptical of this Nobles Alliance thing here. To put it bluntly, the Dmitri has truly overwhelming forces, and Roman Dmitri took down Butler. Normal methods won't work to take them down." This time, in contrast to his initial confident demeanor, he appeared rather skeptical. Even now, the scene of him bowing his head in front of so many people made his heart pound in shame. The nobles of the Alliance were speechless. Despite venting his anger, there had to be a way out of this. Since the fall of Barco, there was no way to stop Dimitri. The presence Dimitri had was overwhelming. Recently, with the war preparations they did against the Castro family, Dimitri showed their power moved beyond the north. Conflict with them was not an easy thing. They all wanted to hit them back, but it wasn't an easy matter, making them turn silent. And it was then, a noble spoke with a cautious voice. How about contacting the central government? You want to pressure Dimitri using them? Yes. After the fall of Barco, we did everything we could to get in touch with the central government. Now is the time to actually put it to use. We cannot ask much since our relationship with the central government isn't so strong, but it is possible to say that this is a matter of Dimitri and the Northeast Nobles Alliance. If the pro-Dimitri troops like Lawrence are cut off from the cause and cannot participate, even if Dimitri is strong, they are bound to be defeated in the battle of numbers. It wasn't about going to war. Obviously, the Alliance would have a huge advantage, and they would get an apology from Dimitri. Viscount Conrad showed his will. I will contact them right now. The communication went through. Beyond the screen, Viscount Conrad spoke of the call's purpose as the representative of the Alliance. Count Fabius, I have one request. Do speak. If it is a request of Viscount Conrad, then I will have to do it. Thank you for saying that. It isn't something odd, but there has been a dispute with the Dimitri family recently. The problem is that Roman Dimitri has blatantly humiliated me. Count Fabius, could you use the power of the central government and put pressure on the Dimitri family just? Cut. The line got cut. As the screen suddenly cut off, Viscount Conrad urged the shocked soldier. Can you not even connect the call properly? Count Fabius might be offended now. Yes. The soldier moved hastily and attempted to connect it. When Count Fabius's face came up, Viscount Conrad tried to apologize for the unstable connection, but... You are seriously ignorant. He was speechless. Count Fabius had warm eyes before, but now he appeared to be staring down at a bug. If you live on the edge of the border, are your ears blocked with something? You want to pressure Roman Dimitri? Roman Dimitri is a talent that Marquis Benedict cherishes. Now he is making every effort to turn the man into his son-in-law, and you are talking bullshit about moving the central government to pressure him. His mind went blank. He wondered if what he was hearing was indeed right. That was it. The communication was cut off, and the Alliance went silent. All this time, they spent so much money trying to get to know Count Fabius, and in an instant their hopes were toppled. Not just that. Count Fabius spoke of an arranged marriage plot between Dimitri and Benedict. The Northeast Nobles Alliance, which had been skeptical about Barco's loss with the help of the central government, now found it impossible to hide their disastrous emotions at the word of marriage. It looks like we made a huge blunder. But what could they do? They already crossed the line. A noble who had been claiming revenge said, How about Viscount Conrad apologizing first? Don't look at me with such eyes. For us to live, this is smarter than to go into a fight for the sake of our pride. The dispute with the Conrad family was solved. The Conrad family apologized directly to the farmer families and promised not to touch them until the contract was over. Young Master Roman. Thank you very much. I heard that the young master had worked hard for us. I do not know how to express my gratitude. From now on, if there is anything the young master wants, I will do it even with this weak body. The farmers of Dimitri came out and expressed their thanks to Roman. As expected, the Northeast Alliance lost their tails. They would have thought of bringing the central government into the fight with Dimitri, but with the current stand of the central government, they have no other choice but to do this. The Northeast Nobles Alliance are like bats. In an argument with me, they didn't hesitate to express their anger, and they didn't hesitate to give up their pride when the situation turned unfavorable, either. When Viscount Lawrence took Dimitri's side, Viscount Conrad apologized right away, and when he realized that he couldn't ask the central government for support. They gave up huge profits and made contracts with our merchants. This plan was divided into 3 stages. The first was a provocation, the second was to face reality, and now. Finally, Roman made an official announcement. The Dmitri family is holding a swordsmanship tournament? The prize money for winning isn't 1 or 2 pennies but 100 gold? 100 gold is a lot of money, but can one win over Roman Dmitri? This is Dmitri's plan to raise Roman status. A monster who defeated Butler, who is ranked 2nd in the Hector kingdom, then who in here can take down Roman? Listen to what people are saying. Of course, if Roman participated, the tournament would be meaningless, but Roman Dmitri and Jonathan are not participating. Not only that, the tournament is divided into 6 groups. And 6 groups have 6 winners. Do you understand what I am saying? Whichever group it is, the winner gets 100 golds. Huh! For real? This caused a riot. The conditions for this tournament were so attractive. The competition was deemed to be fierce, and if there were just one winner, it would be impossible. But now there were 6 groups with 6 winners. The purpose of the tournament is clear. As you all know, I went to war with the Hector kingdom on the southern front. People only remember that I won, but I realize that the world is big. As a result, we will take our time proving ourselves in this tournament. We experienced the wide world, and that experience made us stronger. 6 groups. Each group has one of my subordinates. If a person defeats my subordinate and wins, I will grant them not just 100 gold but also fulfill one request they may have. This was even more shocking to those who were listening. Someone asked if a noble family person could participate. Sure. As long as they prove that they are swordsmen of the Northeast, we do not care about the other conditions. The tournament starts in a month from now, and I hope that you have enough time to prepare and challenge us. That was the end, and Roman said nothing more. The nobles of the Northeast Alliance gathered once again. A swordsmanship tournament held by the Dmitri family. This is a good chance for us to get revenge for the humiliation we suffered earlier. It was Viscount Conrad. As soon as he heard the rumors, he contacted the members of the alliance. Roman Dmitri promised not just 100 gold but also a request being fulfilled. If the Northeast Alliance wins, we can present ourselves as winners, and in exchange for accepting Roman Dmitri's apology, we can display the great faces of our nobles, making people forget the humiliation. The benefits we get from this are clear. With just one apology, we can reverse our relationship with Dmitri and restore our honor that fell to the ground. And a noble said, "Is it possible for us to win? Aside from the alliance, there are many people who are interested in the competition, and will it be possible to beat them all?" Right, and among those who follow Roman are Chris and Kevin. Aren't they the ones who took the spotlight for wiping out the people of Barco? I remember that they had great fighting skills then, and if they are representing Roman in the competition, winning will not be easy. At that concern, Viscount Conrad smiled. Yes, I don't think that winning is easy. However, the competition will be divided into 6 groups. Chris? Kevin? Even if they are amazing, they cannot participate in 6 groups at the same time. Then, among Dmitri's men, there must be a weak link. So, that is what we are going to aim for. All we have to do is evenly distribute the alliance forces among the 6 groups. So, obviously, at least one group will have a winner. That does sound possible. From what I heard, it doesn't seem like a bad plan. If we can get just one winner, our plan succeeds, Viscount Conrad added. The tournament is 1 month from now. Everyone should keep that in mind. There is no other way to restore the Alliance's reputation unless we seize the opportunity provided by the heavens. So do not aim for any other means. Even if there is a limit to disguising as a warrior from another territory, we just need to produce a winner in some way. At that time, Roman summoned his men, including Chris, Kevin, McBurney, and others. Roman spoke calmly as he looked at them. I think you heard of the tournament. From now on, I will declare that in 1 month, you will compete with and against one another, and I will select 6 warriors to compete on behalf of the Dmitri family. Past evaluations aren't important. This means that your current position will be represented by only 1 month's results. His men's expressions changed at that moment. There was no reward, but the word competition changed everything. We left the southern front, but the war is far from over. From the moment I slowly show the path I am going to take, it will be unavoidable to run from the powers of Cairo. That's why, even if we stay in Dimitri, we have to maintain the tension that developed on the battlefield. Just like a sharp sword that can hit at any time, I will provide my subordinates with an incentive so that they will aspire to higher ground. Those who have raised their reputation on behalf of Dimitri will be rewarded. If you are chosen as one of the 6 swordsmen to compete and win, I will inform the victor of the top-level skills. There are many different types of skills, from footwork and swordsmanship to combat. I'll show you how to successfully advance to a higher level from your current one. Top-level skills. The men gulped. Even if Roman said it was to evaluate their loyalty, they would have risked their lives. And a top-level skill. The men knew what it meant. The Lord is a different being from us. He knows a lot of knowledge that can be called a treasure on the continent, and we are getting stronger by taking some of his teachings. And if the Lord gives us a top-level skill right now, it will be huge. It is clear that he will teach a skill that is incomparably superior to any reward money. The competition has 2 purposes: to confront the nobles and make them face reality, and train my men perfectly. After the tournament is over, the situation in the northeast will probably change a lot. A one-time chance. Roman decided to let his men go wild. From now on, we will start training for the tournament. The men were dismissed, and Roman organized his thoughts. 1 month to prepare. It's time for me to train too. Baek Jung-hyuk, heavenly demon, a being born from the verge of death. The crisis was familiar, and Roman felt alive as a human. But initiating a crisis is an act of stupidity, and I risked my life for victory, and the only way to avoid such constant crises is to become stronger. Just like how my subordinates are running to train for the tournament next month. I, too, will find a way to move ahead for the month or so. Before going to training, he called for Lucas. You called me, sir? As the head of the Information Guild, Lucas accomplished a lot. Utilizing Dimitri's power and financial resources, he quickly took control of the surrounding area and recently absorbed the Black Moon Information Guild. For the next month or so, I plan to go into a closed training. In the meantime, I won't be getting any reports except in one case. If there's trouble in the family, I need the information to be delivered right then. I understand. And sell this sword. Roman handed him the sword. His sword. In order to make a new sword in the future, he had to let go of the current one. Its original name is Flame, but I changed it to Blaze because it is looking for a new owner. Any method of sale is fine. Without revealing who its former owner is, find a new owner for the sword. The profits will go to the Information Guild. Lucas took the sword. I will see you in a month. At the end of their conversation, Roman took a step back toward the forge. His time in the hot forge would now begin. After separating from Roman, Lucas went around with the sword. This is a great sword, no matter how one looks at it. Why sell this? He was no blacksmith, but he was around the battlefield, and he had an eye for weapons, and this sword was something he was certain of. A smooth blade that could kill in a flash, one that would make people droll. The Lord told me to sell the sword by any method. If the sword was made by the hero of Cairo and is auctioned off anonymously, how much will it be valued? It cannot be bad. And the Lord wanted the sword to find an owner, so those who know the value of the sword will be the ones putting a higher price. He thought of the perfect method, so his destination was set, the Northeast Commercial Center. He headed to Count Adelian's estate, where the warp gate of the captain was located. The Adelian auction house. And Lucas's heart pounded for the future. Hey there, thanks for joining us today. If you had enjoyed watching our content, don't forget to show some love by hitting that like button and subscribing to our channel. It would really mean a lot to us. We have a lot of amazing content that we would love to share with you. So make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on your notifications to never miss out on another one of our videos.